Good, fine people. Welcome to Premier League Khanage, episode 5. We don't mess about anymore. We got Noor telling us in the thumbnail. He's going to start telling us episode numbers. So we can't fall for the blagging Bilal when he tells us picks out random numbers. That it could be episode 3, it could be episode whatever. Episode 5, Premier League Khanage. You're all very welcome. You already know what to do. Smash up that like button. Punt entry. House rules, ground rules, palace rules, my rules. You understand? We've got so much to get through today. Carnage is the right name for today. There was carnage up at Goodison Park. We're going to go through the drama that unfolded at Goodison Park, which resulted by the end of the day, or working day, I should say, the owner got fed up and put them up for sale. He got fed up, Bilal. He got fed up. He said, I can't do this anymore. Everton is for sale. We got Michael in the building as well. Michael on the back of a morale. What's the word? What's the opposite of morale boosting? Morale demoralizing.
Demoralizing, yeah.
Morale demoralizing defeat by Arsenal in the big game. But to be fair to him, Michael didn't have much chest and much belief. I guess he was proved right in a way. Unfortunately, you wish he was proved wrong.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it is what it is.
It was a good game. It was a good game. You done better than last season, but it still showed a few levels, right?
Yeah. I mean, on my Twitter, I've been getting called an Arsenal fan lately because I've been gassing up Arsenal a little bit because I'm showing them some respect in a sense. Obviously, I still don't like them. Don't get it twisted. But I said because a lot of people after the game were saying it was toe to toe. For me, it was never toe to toe in my opinion. I think they dominated us. The stats show it really. Obviously, the first 65 minutes compared to the last 35 minutes was more toe to toe. But if you look at all the stats, just every time we attacked, unless Rashford was on the ball, I didn't think we would score. But with them, every time they attacked us, I'm like, yo, these guys might score. But then we have Warriors at center back, which makes it harder for us to concede. But they still were an absolutely amazing team that day. But I'm proud of the fight my team put up in a sense. That Rashford goal was amazing. When we went down 2-1, I'm like, it's probably looking peak. Emirates was rocking. It was so loud. But Martinez got that comeback. And you know what? When I got to the 90th minute, I'm like, maybe we could nick that draw. But Nketiah, Mr. Call Me Maybe, that's what he'd be looking like right now because that celebration, he'd be doing that every day. And they did steal our celebration. I will not forget Bukayo Saka and Nketiah stealing my boy's celebration. So we will get that back in blood. Just know about that. We will get it back whenever we play against each other next time. But it was a good game for the neutral. I'm sure every neutral enjoyed it. I know Bilal quoted something. It was the most watched game in America in terms of Premier League history. Yeah, it was so many times. It was something 17 million or something like that. It was very high numbers. So Arsenal United rivalry, it's kind of like the first time in a minute that you saw it. It felt like it's coming back in a sense. Obviously, me and Bilal were younger when it really started, the early 2000s. I was 3 years old, but for the first time in a minute, I felt it we felt the way the Emirates was going, the way Old Trafford was the last fixture. It's finally back, and I'm sure we'll have more wars next season and for years to come.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not going to lie to you. I really enjoyed the game. I tried to watch it as a neutral, even though I wanted Arsenal to win. But I wasn't overly obsessed with who I want to win. I just tried to enjoy it. And it was, man. I saw two teams that have improved vastly from the levels that they were last season. Obviously, Arsenal were by far the better team. I think they deserved it in the end. But I think in the first half, Man United frustrated you, right, Bilal? I think they definitely frustrated you. It was not smooth sailing. It wasn't like we thought, the blitz Arsenal are going to come with. No, they handled you really well. But you could see Arsenal increase the tempo and sustain the energy. And I think Man United, with players like Weghorst up front, Eriksen in midfield, just couldn't sustain the energy and levels.
Yeah, no, 100%. I was looking at that game from the United front in that first half. I think for the first 30 minutes probably they were, for me, sort of the better team. I know we were trying to pass out, we were trying to do our thing, but they nullified us. They're very strong. They've played a solid block, very tight. You know, it was hard to get through them. It was very similar to that Newcastle game that we drew 0-0 in the beginning. I was like, yeah, this might be a tough one to actually crack them open, despite me coming in there thinking, yeah, let's just blitz them. And you know what? Marcus Rashford, I have to say, what a threat. He's like a one-man attack. It's just him. You know, honestly, he was their attack. He was their threat. And every time he got the ball, it was dangerous. And that first goal he scored was unbelievable. But yeah, really and truly, you know what it is? When I was watching that game, and even when the game ended, and I think like post-match, I was talking about the game, I was like, oh, tough one for us. Like we played good, yeah. But it felt like it was a tough game. But it's one of those ones later when you analyze what's happened, you see the stats. You're like, you know what? We had a good day in the office in terms of touches in the box, shots on goal. I know many of them got blocked by Varane, Martinez, all of them. They were Martinez, to be honest, man. That guy, what a guy. If he had scored that goal, right, and it was like a draw, I wouldn't have been on this show today. That's what I have to say. That because that header, yeah.
But you know what? But Michael makes a good point, right? That despite Arsenal's pressure and everything else, it's weird. It's weird saying this, but I actually thought the two centre backs, Man United, had a good game. And you're right,
they were immense.
But that's wild. You conceded 3. Do you get what I mean? So I know what you mean, but how can we say that though? Like, because how are you justifying that?
You know why I can say that? Because the right back Wan-Bissaka was getting. Actually, he wasn't getting cooked by Martinelli, but obviously he was at fault for the first goal because he was sleeping back post. My goalkeeper clearly does not know that he has hands because he doesn't know how to catch a ball. He's punching it instead. I don't know what is wrong with that guy. And Luke Shaw, in a sense, I know
it was a great battle with Saka. It was a great battle.
Obviously, I think
that was not a battle. No, stop. Sure,
really?
Versus that's bro. That was
Bukayo Saka was not really cooking Shaw. He was cooking Eriksen because Eriksen ended up having to defend him a couple of times, and that was probably the biggest mismatch you'll ever see in sports history. Because Christian Eriksen, as good as he is on the ball, I have never seen a bigger traffic cone and defending. He does not want to engage in any duels at all. Like, he doesn't know what that word means, a duel.
You ain't seen our Jordan Henderson recently. Just saying.
No. Jordan Henderson might put in a tackle. Eriksen will not put in anyone. And then for me, honestly, the game changer was, as much as I hate him, as much as I've been critical of him, Anthony getting subbed off kind of changed the game because he was doing a decent job on Zinchenko, but the moment Anthony got off the pitch, we lost all our balance, and Bruno was letting Zinchenko dominate that midfield like he was prime on Jared Pirlo. He was dominating. Obviously, on the ball, Anthony was horrible because I saw him.
That's what I'm saying.
But in a sense, in a game that we were getting pressured the last 25 minutes with Anthony not on the pitch, it probably would have helped him to have him on the pitch and not Bruno on the right wing, in my opinion. But on the ball, he was terrible. I saw him ruin at least 4 counter opportunities, and to let Thomas Partey catch up to him is absolutely embarrassing for me.
Yeah, that was mad. When I don't know how to describe that, man. I thought, whoa, where is Uncle Partey coming from? Like, that's proper Uncle Partey. You know that he's another one of them that I don't know how old he is, man.
He got cooked by the way. Thomas Partey got cooked. He got elastic by Rashford. That first goal.
But that's one. Yeah, but that's one. Yeah, but that's one thing. You know, one piece of play. Overall, I thought Partey was brilliant. The way the Arsenal picked up their game after that Rashford strike, that's a mentality test. People coming into the chat, by the way, there's over 210 of you. Smash up the like button. We're building up to all the talking points are centering around Premier League. The big results from the weekend, the transfer speculation, the transfers that are done, clubs up for sale. We got you covered. Keep sending in your questions. We're going to try to get through as many as we can. Really know. We're just at the moment discussing the massive game and over the weekend, the big game, Arsenal, Man United. Bilal, just very quickly, I guess, how are you feeling after that, man? And you was super confident anyway. You was like, if we don't thrash them 3-0, it's not good. Well, you scored the 3, but you let in 2. It was closer than you imagined.
Yeah, there's something weird with us right now. All of our home games, right? I'm pretty sure we've conceded. There was a stat that we didn't keep a clean sheet for a minute in our stadium. I think the Newcastle game might have been one of the first clean sheets in a long time in our stadium, despite us not losing since April to Brighton, right? So it's a mad one. We always have these weird games, and I think it's because we always take the impetus. We always try to go forward when we play, you know, at home. When we go away from home, we've been keeping a lot of clean sheets away from home. We've been very solid, but I think there's a mentality change when you play at home, of course, and that's why we are susceptible to conceding the odd goal or even two, as we saw against Man United. Both goals, really, the first one, I don't think much. We couldn't do anything about that. That was just a special goal from a special player. The second goal, though, Ramsdale should have done better, I'd say. But Martinez, again, like, I don't know how, like, the way he looped it with his head, I don't know if it's because of his height. He did it. If it was someone else, they're not doing that. It's one of those ones. His height came into play in a good way that time. But yeah, honestly, I rate that guy, and I can see why Arteta wanted him. Yeah. Everything I had to say, worries, his height, centre back, all of that. Now he's a very, very good centre back.
Yeah, how would he have fitted? But how would he fit in at Arsenal? Because would he have played at left back? Do you guys think? Because you didn't buy Zinchenko at that stage, did you?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Would he have played centre? Would he play at centre back? Because I don't know. Or could he have done a job at midfield? What did Arteta have cooking?
I think he had probably to play him left back like Zinchenko, but I think we lucked out because Zinchenko, as our left back on that side, the way he comes into midfield, the way he's playing this Roman position is something I don't think Lisandro could do. But Lisandro defensively would probably offer something completely different to Zinchenko. So it's just one of those ones. Like, I think Zinchenko, actually, us getting him instead has been great because, number one, his passion, his determination, the fact that I know he's just an Arsenal fan, you see it with all his celebrations, the way he plays. The second half, he took charge of that midfield. He said, Thomas Partey, you are not doing the job, brother. I'm coming in here. I'm taking control. He took the reins, and he's a captain. Him, Zinchenko, Xhaka, and Odegaard. These three in particular, these are like the brains, the heart of the team right now, and I have to give them all credit. Even my guy, Granit Xhaka, I need to say sorry. Well, do I need to say sorry? For the first 5 years, I don't even know, maybe even 6. I wanted this guy out of my club, man.
Your whole club was dysfunctional, man. Your whole club was dysfunctional.
Yeah, no, I hear that, but Xhaka, it was one of those ones. He came in with the same transfer window.
If he leads you to the title, all is forgiven.
Yeah, all is forgiven, 100%. If he gets his Premier League
that's what I'm saying. When Henderson led us to the title, all his detractors and haters just shut their mouths. That's the way it works, bro.
And you know what it is with Xhaka? Like, we always knew, like, he's a good footballer. 100%. He's scouted by Arsenal to play in midfield. You've got to be a good player. His left foot is one of the best left foots you can find. But it's one of those ones for years at Arsenal, playing probably with, let's say, dysfunctional defenders behind him, playing in the deeper position, which never suited him because you can always press him and get him, you know, dispossessed easily. But now, because he's got this relentless work rate, he's got stamina for days. He's an athlete. Right, he can make these runs. You saw McTominay marking him the whole game, but still, it's not enough. He's probably sometimes our highest player up the pitch. Right, he's making runs constantly. He's coming. You don't know. You literally can't pick him up, and that's why I think what Arteta's done with him has been absolutely amazing. So yeah, big up Xhaka. For me, it was unbelievable against United. But yeah, Zinchenko is that guy. But I want to big up as well again, man, Bukayo Saka. For me, I'm thinking about the right wingers in the world, and I'm like, I'm not taking anyone over this guy. Unbelievable player. Luke Shaw, after the game with his interviews, he knows, man. I don't know what Saka was doing to Shaw in England training camps and all of that yet, because Saka was walking into the box because Shaw was giving him so much respect. I understand you come out, you're gonna get cooked. You stay back, you're gonna get cooked. So it's one of those ones. What do you do? And I'm telling you now, if Saka starts unlocking that Iron Robin R1 and circle, as we call it, us FIFA merchants, game over. Because that is the one thing. I think his shooting has been the one thing that's been not letting him down, but the one thing he needs to improve on. And if he can start adding that to his repertoire, wow, he's just unplayable because his IQ, everything about him, his fitness, because he doesn't really, he doesn't push himself like other players. When you watch Martinelli, right? The kid's running up and down. You're like, whoa. You're tired watching Martinelli. I remember I used to feel tired watching Alexis Sanchez, but I would never feel, obviously different players, Ozil's a number 10. You wouldn't feel tired watching an Ozil, but you can see the difference when Saka has the ball, the control he has. Just find it unbelievable.
It's more refined. It's more cultured with Saka, yeah.
He picks his time.
And it's scary, and it's scary for such a young player still. Like, he can only get better, I feel. Well, we know he can get better. But his He's coming on nicely. People are saying people need to speak on Zinchenko. Pixelate Pigeon says Zinchenko looking like he's grown a lot since his move. Responded well to more responsibility. Was he your outstanding player? Would you say? Bilal?
Yeah, Zinchenko, in the game against United, has been outstanding. But in general, every game he's played, he's been easily probably one of our best players on the pitch. When he's not in the team, you just see a complete difference. And I think now with him in the team, as long as he stays fit, and if him and Partey stay fit, Arsenal, I think you're the favourites in most games because of how they can control the tempo, how they can control the game. And as I said again, Zinchenko takes the pressure off. Guys like Partey, who's had always so much responsibility, to really control everything in the middle. If Partey, you're not feeling it, you move. Zinchenko's coming. Even Ben White has been doing this thing, and I know even he got taken off halftime. Tomiyasu came in, and this is what you want to see. Now we're starting to have two players in each position, being able to rotate. Ben White, you got a yellow card. Cool. We bring Tomiyasu. Try lock Rashford.
That was a wise move. That was a wise move. That was a wise move. Michael, people are wanting to praise on ETH. Aslan says, he sends in a super chat, says, people are not really deep in what ETH is doing. Double pivot options of McFred and Eriksen, Weghorst up front, literally Burnley level 3 of them. I think that's harsh. I think that's very harsh. But I get this. I get the point he's trying to make. Yeah. Is that these same players, or is it same players? He's had his fair share of signings coming in. ETH since he's been here, he's bought 5-6 players, right? I think.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not like the full squad, but obviously I really can't praise him so much because of he's the one that what's it called?
So where exactly? So where are you with ETH and the job he's done? Because I see extremes, and Twitter's probably the worst place to try to evaluate what's rational and what's calm. Do you know what I mean? But I hear extremes of he's the maddest, he's the tactical, he is the one who's revolutionized us way. And then some people are saying, like, he's had 300 million to spend. And what? Like, you know what I mean? We expected an improvement. Where are you in the ETH debate about what's the jobs he's done? Because I think he's done a very good job looking from the outside. I think he's been very authoritative in the decisions, namely the elephant in the room that was Cristiano. He dealt all of this nicely, and now he's got you guys working. I think he's done a very good job. What are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, the future is bright for us. I mean, he was the right choice in terms of picking, like, in terms of managerial appointment. For the money thing, I've been seeing that on Twitter too. For me, Man United's problem has never been spending money. It's just been spending it wisely. So, like, people say, yes, you threw 300 million, but don't forget, half of that went to one player. So it's not like we signed like 10 players for 300 million. We signed like 4 players really, and one of them was on a free. So I think Man United could throw money, but for me, 300 million wasn't enough. We need to spend like 500 million to like overhaul the squad because that squad was so crap last year, and it's still crap in a sense when you look at the options. If some of our starters are out, Casemiro goes out, we have McTominay. That's a deep downgrade. Dallo goes out, Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka's been improving lately, but still, that's a big downgrade. Our strikers are Martial and Weghorst. That's not good enough. Like, I was a big fan of Weghorst, but I didn't expect him to be a starter. I expected him to be the backup. But Martial is injured again.
I told you he's going to be starting. I told you a couple of weeks ago. Weghorst is going to be a starter. Forget Martial. Martial FC stands. Shut your mouth. Stop trying to come at me. Shut your mouth.
But with ETH, like I got cooked on Twitter. I think was it Thursday. We got linked with Marco Royce, and I'm like, yo, this ETH's talent IDs, like, it's looking spooky a little bit. This guy needs a director of football ASAP. I need my own version of Michael Edwards to come into this club ASAP because I'm seeing links to Marco Royce. I was seeing links to Sergino Dest in the summer, Thomas Munier. So ETH, the players he's familiar with are not that good because he was in the Dutch league. So he's not his range and network isn't like a Thomas Tuchel, for example, who managed in bigger leagues. Or Pep Guardiola, who knows players, or even Mikel Arteta from his time at Man City probably got a seeing, or the Spanish network. And the Dutch players, to me, right now, the Dutch, just like in terms of the Netherlands, their players are not that good. I can maybe name like 5 players that are like really good talents. The rest of them are kind of like declining in a sense. But on the pitch, he's a phenomenal coach. Even though I think he got it wrong on Sunday, I think he was probably part to blame because I think Garnacho should have came on a little earlier. Cause a little threat in the counterattack, maybe against Tomiyasu, young player. Tomiyasu's never seen Garnacho. Maybe he could do something against him. But he didn't. Coaches make mistakes. It is what it is. But some people get mad at ETH very quickly. I was getting into arguments on Saturday. I said Ten Hag for me is an elite manager, just in terms of like tactics and everything. So I think for me, he's the right man going forward. And once we get him aboard, hopefully with new owners, we get him aboard so he doesn't have to focus on the transfers. He could work with them and he could give them the profiles and they could go get quality targets and everything will just be fine. But we need that new owners ASAP because I can't have this guy going to get Marco Reus and meeting up with him for dinner. Marco Reus in 2012 would have been a fantastic signing, or even 2015. 2023 Marco Reus, that's like signing Martial 2.0. Good product.
100%. That's wild. Before we get Bilal's final statements and thoughts, Beer says Premier League fan base is welcome. He's 100% right. All fan bases are welcome on Premier League Khanage. Well, you're welcome on any show, but we already know if Premier League Khanage is for all the clubs, it's not for one club. So, but rule number one is don't forget to smash the like button. Because, what do you mean, man? What do you mean because? Why do I have to justify it? I don't even have to. What do you mean because? Why am I saying because? Just hit the like. I don't need
just
to
smash
say
it.
Because. Yeah, I don't. Why am I justifying myself?
Like, sometimes you just have to smash it. You know,
you
just
have to
smash the like button.
I have to smash. Oh yeah, Trevelli reminds us Arnautovic as well. You guys were linked with Arnautovic as well at the start, weren't you? Or something that was wild as well. But he's a good player.
He scored like 5 goals in like the first 5 games. I'm like, yo, what's ETH cooking? And this guy ain't scored since.
Him and Rabiot. You never know.
You never know. Bilal, closing thoughts and statements on Arsenal. You demolished Spurs. You demolished Man United. Next step, I think the big test. I know you got Man City in the cup.
Yeah.
How you like? I know this is Premier League Khanage, but what are you saying? That cup relevant? Like, are you want to go gung ho? You want to set a precedent? Like, yo, Man City.
Yeah.
We are here. You want to set a statement?
100%. You know, the other day I was thinking, let's just rotate for that game. Let's play Trossard and Smith Rowe and give them a little run out. But the momentum we have now, and for me, the FA Cup is an important trophy. If we can win the FA Cup, I'll be very happy. So for me, I don't want to disregard that. I'd rather win the FA Cup. If we have to disregard something, for me, it'd be the Europa League. So I want to go through in the FA Cup. I want to go as far as we can in this competition and try and do something. I think if we beat Man City, we put ourselves not only psychologically in a good place for when we play them in another few weeks, I think February 15th or something like that. But yeah, I think the FA Cup as well becomes a viable option for another trophy that you can compete with. You want those feelings going to Wembley. Come on, like Grizz, you went there twice last season. You know how it feels. It's good. So yeah, I think it's a big game.
3 times. 3 times we played Man City there in the in the semi-finals. Oh, we smashed up Man City there. So that was nice.
Exactly. So yeah, our record against City in the FA Cup has been good. I think we've won like the last 4 times we played them. But yeah, this is going to be a crazy game. I think both teams are going to go strong. There's like a week break, right, between this FA Cup game. Yeah. So it's perfect. You play your first team, and I think it's going to be a tasty game. I don't see Pep rotating. Maybe Alvarez. Maybe that's the only thing he does.
He's not going to want you to have anything psychologically on him. He's that kind of person.
You know what this game reminds me of? Remember when Chelsea played City like 3 times before the UCL final? Like Tuchel beat them all. I think if Arsenal could beat City, that gets into City's heads because you guys play each other in the Prem like next month and like in the UCL fixtures. So you want to get as much information and as much like advantage over them. So I would go full strength for both teams. Also, because the game's at the Etihad, right? I think that's even more reason to play your first team and really try and beat them at their ground because they're going to end up coming. The first game's at our ground, the Premier League game, and I think that puts us as favourites for that game. But this game, FA Cup, obviously going to their ground, they're going to be feeling, we can't let Arsenal turn us over. But if we do, I think that's going to be a big moment. So yeah, I'm up for that. I'm up for that game Friday as well.
No, I know you're up for it. I knew you're up for anything these days, man. You're just so gassed. It's unbelievable. Big up Shane McGee, the latest member of Football Khanage. Big up yourself, my friend. That entitles you to social media interaction with all of us on the Football Khanage panel. So make sure you get a follow from us and loads of interaction. You get your comments made sure they're read up on here. You get first priority on all the interactive shows and especially the Call in Khan show, which is growing. Ask Bilal. That Call in Khan is madness on a Saturday night. So you get priority to call in. Whenever you want to call in, you have priority. So big up yourself for becoming channel member. If anybody else wants to become channel member, the link is in the description, I believe. I'm not having this, man. Watch this one. Sorry, Mick. I know you're a Liverpool fan, and I know you don't like Arsenal, but come on. That's harsh, right? I'm not gonna ask Bill out because Bill out. We already know.
I've been seeing that lately. The Leicester
But you can't.
it's mad disrespectful. It's mad.
It's mad, isn't it? This Arsenal team, you can see a different animal to that Leicester.
They would wipe that Leicester team on the floor. Honestly, they would wipe that team like insane. This Arsenal team, you could say is the best team in Europe right now in terms of form. Like only
Napoli.
Other than Napoli, like Napoli, I think Arsenal would beat Napoli. I give them a tactical advantage, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think,
defensively, I think we're better, but attacking wise, I say it's
Osimhen.
Yeah, the two they have are lethal. Like Kvara and Osimhen, that is dunk city, as you guys call it. That too,
Lob City. That's lots of dunk. But nah, this
Lob
Arsenal
City,
team, like, this Arsenal team is legit. Like the point tally they're on right now is like one of the best in Premier League history. So like even if Man City aren't playing that bad to the point where like Arsenal are just that much better than them. So I think the Leicester comparison for me is mad disrespectful.
We got a super chat on the Arsenal situation below. It says Arsenal, Shane McGee, the newest member, says Arsenal need cover for Partey. One injury away to massive issues. Partey is too important to how they operate. Look at Rodri for City and Fabinho for Liverpool. I'd say Fabinho to a lesser extent, but I know what you mean. Recent times, Rodri at City is massive. I've always said it. You take out Rodri from that City team, man, it's a lot of work for that City team. I'm being serious. And I think it's the same for you lot.
100%. This is why this whole window I've been screaming for midfielder, because the way we build up play and the attacking players that we have, even if we at times we felt maybe a bit light, we have players to score goals. It's not an issue. The issue is if Partey goes down, I think it's going to be tough to replace him. You could say if this squad just stays the same, Elneny could do a job for a few games, which he has done in the past. Even as Zinchenko could maybe go in and a Tierney comes into left back, and that could probably do a job for a game or two. But really and truly, I was watching today, Lazio destroyed Milan.
Lord have mercy. This is why I have been, and I know we're going to talk about it later on in the week at Eurostars. You know what I'm saying, innit? This is why I keep cussing these Italian Serie A donnies that coming at me and say, it's Serie A. Serie A is muddied. Them Italian teams are rubbish. Only Napoli. And even Napoli, they wiped the floor with a very... Now we know how rubbish this Liverpool team was that they beat earlier in the season. No, I'm being real. That Liverpool team they beat was pants. And it's been proven so. Because Nottingham Forest beat Liverpool. Because Leeds beat Liverpool. Because who else? I don't know, man. Everyone beat Liverpool. So Napoli beating Liverpool wasn't maybe that much of a big deal. We mashed them up when they come to Napoli. We destroyed Inter Milan last season. AC Milan we've handled. AC Milan got handled badly by Chelsea, who are pants. That Italian league is dead, people. Don't believe the hype about Serie A.
Yeah, it's a bit mad. Today, if you watch that Milan game, I'm telling you, it's the worst defense you'll ever see. That every through ball is cash money. Like, these guys are just going... I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But yeah, Napoli, I think they have been good. I think Lazio do play good football. They don't have the players that much, but they do try to play. Atalanta is another team that I think are doing
bit of pace. You know Adama Traore? You know Adama Traore? Yeah. I'm telling you, Adama Traore, go to Serie A, become Ballon d'Or nominee.
I think it was linked to Inter recently or something like that.
Napoli.
Was it Napoli?
Yeah,
Adama,
I'm telling you, man like Adama Traore. There's just slow people that think they can just play in positions and just like do this all the time. Italian defenders think they can get... No, man.
That's why
technically good on the ball. Man like Barella and all that. They got Henry Mkhitaryan still running shit.
I saw Felipe Anderson looking like
Felipe Anderson. Anyway, we digress. Save this for Eurostars. Save this for Eurostars. Yeah. We need to start packing up the Premier League news of the day or the last few days. And I guess today's breaking news or one of the major news, guys, what are you saying to me was this business. Wild. So what do we know? We know Everton basically had this deal wrapped up, they thought last night, right? So Everton think they got Danjuma from Villarreal. Danjuma, who was at Bournemouth beforehand, went and plied his trade again in Spain. Done very well under your boy Unai Emery, Bilal. Why was he thinking of coming to Everton in the first place? And we're going to get onto the Everton timeline of today. And B, in the end, he got hijacked to last minute. So apparently, Grizz did the medical test on his way to training, And the man gets a phone call from Spurs, certain people at Spurs, possibly Conte coming into his ear and saying, I'm making you an offer. You're going through a fuse. You know how Conte speaks in that mafiosi language?
Yeah.
Man had to go to not White Hart Lane, the Spurs Stadium straight. I mean, wild.
Crazy. He did the media. He did the medical. Apparently, he met Calvert-Lewin. He met some of the players. He's shaking hands. He's like, I'm going to help Everton and all of this sort of stuff. And he was linked to Everton, and Bournemouth. Obviously, he's at Bournemouth before, so he was thinking maybe go back. They signed today, I believe, another player from Villarreal, Jackson, for like 25 million euros, something like that. But I think really and truly what's happened here now, and this is a big issue now for Everton, despite Lampard not getting the result, he was a massive pull factor for so many players joining that club. Onana wanting to join, he joined Everton instead of West Ham purely because of Frank Lampard. Danjuma, can you imagine a couple of days ago, he's talking to Lampard, yeah, I've got a plan for you, mate. You're going to play this position. I'm going to have you here with maybe Demarai Gray, and yeah, we're going to do this and that. And then next minute, Lampard's been sacked. So,
that's a good point. So you think that must have been pivotal in the decision?
100%. I think the Lampard sacking and now not knowing who's going to come in as a new manager is definitely something that will play in your mind. Also, Danjuma, I was surprised. Well, he was linked to Villa a little bit. I thought Villa would try and get him for real, because the way Villarreal were playing, sometimes with the 4-4-2, Danjuma, sometimes playing in the front two, he looked really good. He's quick, he's strong, showed some good finishing ability as well, and he's a smart player. So I thought even Villa, maybe Unai Emery would want to get him in. But yeah, the Tottenham move, it's a good move. And I think the reason it's a good move, number one, he's going to play Champions League football this season. Number two, Heung-min Son isn't Heung-min Son anymore, from what I can see. And him going in there, I think he's going to be direct competition for that position. Richarlison, as we've seen, I don't think Conte really trusts him to play on that side. So I think Danjuma is going to be an option for them on the left, on the right. I think you actually get a decent amount of minutes there. And the London factor as well. I'm pretty sure he's somebody who'd always want to come to London. I think West Ham was maybe even an option for him as well. So yeah, I think this is a good move for him. And he was so close to joining Everton. It's going to obviously sting the Everton fans. But from him, on a personal level, listen, this is a very good move. It's a loan, I believe, right? Did they say it's a loan with an option maybe to buy? I'm not too sure.
I'm not too sure.
I'm pretty sure the 6.
Does anybody know? Hold on, let's see what it says. It doesn't. Loan deal agreed. You're right. Loan deal agreed.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Loan deal agreed.
Yeah.
So, do we know any figures? Shit, I should have done my research. My bad, chat.
I think from what I can tell, I saw there could be an option, but some people are saying there's no option. I don't know if it's confirmed yet in terms of what's actually happening with him. But let's just say at the very least, it's just a loan for 6 months. If he does well,
loan no option. Okay.
Loan no option. So yeah,
it's total no option.
So 6 months like a João Felix. If he does well at Tottenham, maybe they keep him on, they sign him. If not, and he doesn't do too well, maybe another club in the Premier League sign him.
You know what I'm reading from this. Antonio Conte there for 6 months as well. Only he's saying, yeah, come play with me 6 months, and then we both reassess the situation.
Yeah, no,
because Conte ain't staying there, right? People, are we thinking Conte is staying, extending? I don't know what you guys think.
Di Marzio hinted at it that he
he plainly said it.
Yeah, he basically said it. I mean, there's a couple misquotes in that, but I think he's leaving. But apparently, we'll talk about the other guy at Spurs later. But in terms of Danjuma, like Block covered, like he was there. It was probably like the term hijack to the highest level. This is like more of a hijack than Bully's hijacks in a sense. Like he was at Everton.
Second job, yeah. But
I don't know. It's where Everton. It's just that club. That club is the funniest club right now. Like I've been going into their spaces a little bit, and the copium in those spaces are absolutely hilarious. And they're turning on Danjuma. They're like, "Oh, this guy," because like he was like, "I'm ready." And someone said it. This guy's a loyal guy because when his Dutch club got relegated, he played for them in the second tier, the Dutch division. Bournemouth got relegated. He still played for them, so he's a loyal guy. So that means that what's going on at Everton. Like this guy's seeing players getting hassled outside the ground and stuff like
Yeah.
that. CEOs are getting put into the headlock like it's WWE. Like it's probably got too toxic for him, and his agent probably told him Spurs are coming in for you. And from then on, Champions League football. We also what he did in Champions League last year. He was dunking on Bayern Munich and them teams. So he's a good player. And
listen, let me tell you from a Liverpool fan point of view, yeah. Everton are so funny that I have no pleasure in ripping them anymore. Absolutely no pressure. Because you know when you rip someone, you get pleasure from it, right? Because you're ripping someone, you're laughing, you're making everyone else laugh, everyone else is joining in, and it's like, ha ha ha, you guys think you're the... I don't even talk about Everton. I haven't spoken on Everton's demise for God knows how long, because they're the most irrelevant. Like Carragher said, it's the worst run club in Europe. And today's 100%. Events, bro, I don't even know what to say. So they sacked Lampard, and who I think should have been sacked time ago. Like, what has Lampard done to deserve to be given that much chance at clubs like Chelsea and Everton? Like, I don't know about you guys, but people cuss Steven Gerrard. Okay, no problem. Who's the other famous play man? Ole got stick. Yeah, player manager of recent times. Who else, man? Keane, didn't they make a successful transition from midfielder, bad boy midfielder, pundit supreme, and then coach? It doesn't work like that. I get that. But how was this guy elevated so much? Does anybody have any idea how he was elevated so much? And on what level for what?
That first season at Chelsea was decent, I guess, because they got top 4 with the transfer ban. So like that was a decent accomplishment. But then that summer window ruined everything because they were signing players from the Bundesliga, which I don't think Lampard even had a clue what he was signing. And then from then on, the performances got crap, and he got sacked, rightfully so. And at Everton, I mean, there were points where I'm like, okay, I'm seeing something. And then there were points I'm like, yo, what is this guy coaching? And at this point, for me, I don't think he deserves a job in the Premier League for like the next at least couple of years. He needs to go abroad, kind of like what Gerrard did, go to like a Rangers or something, kind of find your niche there. And if you think that you're ready to come back in the Prem, come back. But I don't know. For me, I don't think Lampard is like at best a C-tier manager. Like at best.
I mean, took Derby from 6 to 6, Bilal.
The thing is Derby team, man, they were quite exciting to watch. And I know he got the job, obviously, because of, I think, Harry Redknapp put a phone call into the Derby owner who's since been pretty much like disgraced, because of his dealings with the club. But he managed to do a decent job at that club. Mason Mount was on loan. They looked all right. They were playing some interesting football. They obviously knocked out, Leeds in the playoff? Was it semi-final at that time? I believe it was semi-final, right? So yeah, it was all looking good for him. And then he went to Chelsea, transfer ban, got top 4, right? So still things were looking good. He was building something, but that window with Chelsea, obviously, Werner, Havertz, all of them coming in, didn't work. Then he gets sacked, and then again, Tuchel comes in. He wins the Champions League, so maybe he's looking a little bit funny, in that way, because same players somehow that weren't working for you have won the Champions League. But now you look at what he's been doing at Everton, and I think this is... But the thing is, right, Everton, what manager has done good there since Moyes? Because this is the question. I know Lampard isn't maybe that guy. He's not tactically great. But I'm trying to think. Koeman didn't do well there. Ancelotti had literally a good few months. We were all enjoying James Rodriguez,
Wild. Look at the players they've had. They've had World Cup stars. One of the greatest managers of all time, Ancelotti. They had one of the most best up-and-coming managers in Martinez and Silva.
Who we see what he's doing with Fulham right now. Marco Silva's cooking, so Everton tax on managers is like at an all-time premium.
I thought Marco Silva was a scrub. I thought and this is because of Everton. This is not because of what he did before. This is literally just because of his Everton. I'm like, nah, this guy's not a good coach. Look at what he's doing with Fulham. So the Everton tax is definitely real. But I think Lampard has shown. The thing is, will he get another job? I think he will. Maybe. Probably he's Frank Lampard. He's got the name. He's
connections in it. Connections, bro. Come on. He's Harry's son-in-law, in it?
Yeah, well, yeah, nephew or something like that, right?
Nephew, I beg your pardon, nephew.
One of those ones, yeah. So, yeah, he's going to get a job. He's probably going to enter this new, there's always been those managers in English football that just get rotated from job to job. He's going to be one of those ones, and maybe it'll stick somewhere. I'm not sure what jobs will maybe be available anytime soon, but yeah,
he needs a break. He needs a break, I think, and needs to probably go abroad, maybe rebuild his career, something. and then come back. But what I was going to say before we jump on to the Everton chat, I wanted to get out your one, man. Where's my one, man? What have you done to me?
It should come up soon.
Okay, so after the Danjuma deal, it seems like Tottenham are going for Pedro Porro. Last proposal for 37 million euros was not enough. Spurs hope to convince Sporting using add-ons and or playing the deal. Being told payment terms will also be crucial. This probably will get done as well. Now, obviously, Spurs have Emerson Royale, Doherty. Anyone else in that right wing back role?
Spence.
Jed Spence.
Jed Spence, who he don't want to know. Like, he don't want to know him. I don't know if he knows who he is. I don't know. I definitely can't spell his first name. 100% can't spell his first name. I'm serious. What do you know about this guy, Michael?
So in terms of updates, my Spanish reporter from Relevo, Mate Moreto, he's like the one that's given the latest update. He says like it's pretty much like little nicks that they have to change. But in terms of Pedro Porro, like Man City are gonna get a back from this. By the way, they have a sell-on clause like 30%, so they're gonna get money for this as well in terms of like the transfer. But in terms of just a player, for me, when I first saw him, I'm like, okay, this guy looks like a back five kind of right wing back. But then he also shown that he could play in the back four. But obviously Spurs play a back five, so that's his like traditional position. And he was phenomenal for Sporting in their invincible season, pretty much the 2021 during lockdown. He was one of their best players. Last season is really good as well. Real Madrid wanted him. Man City were also like, maybe we'll get him or not. Spurs, I think, wanted him in the summer as well. I think Man United will link with him at some point. He's just a fantastic right back. And in terms of the right back market, we'll talk about the other guy that's going to another club soon. I think Porro is probably the second best option. And I know Conte wanted this guy because when you watch Spurs, you see the wing backs are the main issue, and that's the key to Conte's system. Like if they get wing backs in, that team's their ceiling goes a lot higher. And if you bring in one of the best right wing backs in terms of his age in Europe, I'm kind of getting a little worried about what Spurs are cooking right now. Danjuma is probably an upgrade on Son right now because Heung-min Son's taking 101 classes in Good University. And Pedro Porro, the level between him and from Emerson, it's like basically going from they're basically getting like the Dani Alves if you compare him to Emerson. Like that's how good Pedro Porro is in comparison to Emerson. So this is a fantastic signing, and Sporting are losing a good player in them sense. I think they're in Europa League. Maybe Marseille got it. I don't know who qualified out of that group, but Sporting, they need cash and they're gonna get it. But Spurs are getting a really good player here.
Yeah.
Now, you know anything about this guy, Pedro Porro? I know he's going to the Ops or seemingly going to the Ops, but to me it looks like a massive upgrade on the current options at Spurs.
Yeah.
And we already know Conte's system is based on his wing backs being, close to elite.
Yeah, 100%. I think Pedro Porro, I believe Man City do have a buyback clause on him, right? And he's got a release clause, I believe, 45 million euros. Their talk was that Sporting, they promised their manager, right, like, we're not going to sell anyone unless someone pays off, the buyout clause. But if they're getting close enough, right, with the offers, you never know. They might just accept it and say, listen, manager, just, calm down and just accept the money. But listen, for me, I watched Tottenham and I just watched them and I'm thinking, right, and it sounds crazy. I don't know if you guys agree with me because Antonio Conte has been a top manager. He is a top manager. But if you switched Antonio Conte and Eddie Howe and Tottenham played a 4-3-3, which was solid, because I look at their centre mids, Højbjerg, Bentancur, Bissouma, and the front three that they have, I could honestly see them switching positions with like a Newcastle or a Man United right now. But for me, honestly, I think they need to invest in the centre-back position as well, because I watch them and I'm always, and even if they could, the goalkeeper, if they could improve the centre-backs, the goalkeeper and the wing-backs, I don't know if all of that's possible, but at least start with the right wing-back, I guess. Then, listen, they're only 3 points behind Man United as we speak. They're investing. We know Man United aren't putting in the money, and they can't put in the money right now. They've got Weghorst and all of these guys up front, Martial, Sancho, all of these guys are not in the team. Tottenham might do something. So let's not write them off, because I wrote them off at one stage of the season. But now I'm looking at the situation, and I think if Tottenham just add a few pieces, which they've done already, Porro, Perisic is obviously, you play him left wing back, he's an unbelievable footballer. They've got their midfield too. Listen, who knows what could happen? They could sneak their way back into the top four again.
Mad. Let's just give a welcome again, guys, to a latest Channel member Pimp in Distress. Yes, a regular in the chat.
Up.
Big up yourself, my friend. Welcome to the Khanage family. Yeah, he's doing. I'm confused with the Spurs situation, Peeps. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is, man. It's a very confused. I think they're on the brink of. Even though he's keeping them, I know what you mean. He's there, and they're not going away. Like I still think they're gonna get top 4 somehow. I don't know. I don't know if Newcastle can maintain this. I think us and them might squeeze in, and I know that means Man United might drop, but let's see. I don't think it's over as much as people think it is, but that situation is wild, man. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. But it's nothing. It's nothing compared to the goings on at Everton Football Club, man. I mean, it's like one disaster after another. So obviously things gone right. Lampard's gone. Danjuma said, yeah, blur to them as well. And now Marshall Bielsa has told Everton the team is too slow to play the way he wants, and they must prioritize pace before window closes if he is to replace Frank Lampard. Argentine is interested in the job, but he has concerns after providing analysis of squad. This is so Bielsa, Michael. We know he does full analysis before he takes any job or anything like that. He scrutinized, analyzed, gone through that Everton squad and said, yo, we doing?
Yeah, this guy saw Seamus Coleman as his right back and said, nah, I'm good. He saw 85-year-old Seamus Coleman. He saw Connor Cody at the back. He's like, nah, these guys can't handle that intensity. Seamus Coleman and Connor Cody running the Bielsa press is a long day. Those guys might actually not survive training.
Long day.
They might not survive training. Calvert-Lewin's like ankles are like cooked. Like this guy probably can't handle the pressing intensity right now either. So Bielsa's a very top manager in terms of tacticians and everything. He's a very smart guy. This guy watches games like sitting down like on his half knees. Like this guy is very focused on the game. You can tell that just by the way his stance is. So for him, it's a smart decision to not take that job. He is probably you don't want to go down with the sinking ship. There's only one manager that will go down with the sinking ship, and we all know who that is. That's Big Sam. That's probably the only option. And they're interested in him again. So if I'm any sense of a top manager, I would stay away, including Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney, if they call you, you hang up that phone and you stay in the.
No, hang up. Don't answer. Like
don't even answer.
Yeah,
don't even
if it's
answer.
a private call, just imagine it's like some people chasing you for your unpaid direct debit or something. So don't answer it.
Yeah, don't even answer that call.
Don't answer private call. Don't answer nothing, anything remotely from Liverpool with the Liverpool code, bro. Wayne Rooney, he'll be mad to go there, Bilal, man. You ain't like people are saying Sean Dyche. That's my shout, you know.
That's the only option.
My shout. Realistically.
Keep my guy away from there. I don't need Sean Dyche going down with that ship either. He deserves a better job than Everton.
He won't get it. He won't get it. His stock, the way he's played, despite the performances where I think he got Burnley to 7th one time, right? Because he doesn't play the beautiful football like a Potter, he's never going to get a bigger job than Everton, right? So if he gets that job, he gets that call, you take it, because he is one of the few managers who could probably keep them up. They've got the likes of McNeil, who's a player that he knows. They've got the strikers that they can play. I think he could actually keep them up. I think he's the only man right now that could take that job and get them doing something. They bring a Hassan Huto, you bring a Bielsa, I'm telling you now, a relegation, and you don't want to go to the Championship, because I'm telling you now, Everton go to the Championship with the financial situation that they're in, it's a long road. They could be the next Sunderland where they're just stuck, or they can even go down again. It's one of those ones, despite how big of a club they are, it can happen just because of how they run the club. And yeah, I think Sean Dyche is the only option in my opinion.
Sean Dyche might be the only option, but yo, I think I've spotted my cousin in the chat. Let me just confirm if that's him. If that's him, if that's Cam, let me look at his Yes, Cam, big up Cam. My cousin is in the chat. He says Grizz Khan take a seat. Yeah, that's a private little thing. None of you will know what he's talking about. Basically, I used to be the king of pool. So when man's miss a shot, so imagine I'm playing Bilal. Yeah, you missed your shot. My lyric used to be, or his lyric, I should say, take a seat. Yeah, that was the lyric. Yeah. Just wipe up the table and clean it all up. Big up Cameron in the chat. I see my brother Ash in the chat. He says Salaam alaikum, wa alaikum salam, JJ. He's saying, and Bilal, he says, massive respect to you for the awesome content always. Grizz, about time you need to make me a mod on your chat. I'm gonna do that right now, bro. You are about to be modded. While he's about to be modded, because obviously I have to go on my phone to do that. Yo, Everton, like Bilal, like their day has been horrific. Like Everton sack manager, McNeil tells fans worst position at Burnley last year. Guardian states that Everton are for sale. Moshiri apparently had just come out and said not for sale. What's that Fab video? I don't know what that one. Anyone know about that one? Tell us.
No
tell
idea.
everyone, no idea. Danjuma deal hijacked. Cody slaps Gordon apparently in trap.
I could imagine that as well.
I can imagine that, bro. I can 100% tune in tomorrow for next episode of All or Nothing Everton. Let me just mod up Ash and talk to me through that day, man. Like long day, long day.
This is like earthquake, then tsunami, then blizzard, then tornado. Like this is natural disaster after natural disaster. I've never seen anything like this. The only club that could maybe rival them right now in terms of being down bad is Juventus. But still, Juventus are playing games. They still have a few players. How long that lasts, no one knows. We don't know with the Juventus situation of the next few weeks and months. We'll find out. But yeah, Everton right now, I don't know what to say. Like the Danjuma deal to start with, obviously, that we touched on already. Like that is bad. Like normally, remember, Grizz, you guys nearly signed for Kier. You had everything ready.
Yeah.
You pulled out. Not him. You pulled out. This is the guy who decided apparently not to even send his like registration forms last minute. He said, no, I'm holding back. I'm Conte, bye. And I think, it's a symbolic thing, right? Tottenham and Everton for many years have been those clubs which were sort of the same level, right? The Evertons, the Villas, the Tottenhams. And now to see that Tottenham signed Richarlison, 60 million, right? Took Danjuma. Like, could you imagine telling someone 12 years ago that could be the two directions of the club? And I just find it mad. So that might even add a little more to it. And I think Everton as well, I think them and Newcastle fans always see them going back and forth, right? Like they've got some mad rivalry and beef going on as well. Then you see Newcastle, what they're doing. I think this is this is bad times. And in a way, I'm not a Liverpool fan, so I have a bit of sympathy for them. My guy, Arteta, Everton man. We've got good connections there. They gave me money for Iwobi, for Walcott. I got to respect them a little bit.
Yeah. You love that shit. Oh my God.
Yeah, I got to respect them a little bit.
Money for Iwobi.
Took advantage of their.
Listen, it's not my fault. Usmanov and his cronies went over to buy Everton, so all they knew was Arsenal players, right? So they went and signed whoever they thought was who could help them at the time, right? But yeah, no, I feel bad for them. They're a historic club. I think in terms of even trophies, right? They're like 5th in all-time trophies, right? I think it's a bit of a mad situation. And at this point, it depends how it goes, because I think, as I said, a lot of the players at Everton, the Onanas, the Danjumas who are about to sign, they went for Lampard. They didn't go for Everton. And when the crowd's toxic, when you feel unsafe, probably just leaving the stadium and going in, like, can you really play properly? And I think the fans play a massive part. I've seen it in my own club. When Arsenal fans are booing, being toxic, like cussing every player left, right, and centre, of course the players were never going to play well. But now when you actually support the boys, you give them some support, you create a good atmosphere and energy, things can change. So I think right now it's a mad situation. That's why I think they need a strong manager like a Sean Dyche to go in there, just try and take control of the situation by the scruff of the neck. But yeah, we'll see how it goes for them.
Don One says, question for Grizz. As a Liverpool fan, do you want Everton to go down, or is the rivalry more important? Go down. Go down. Horrible club.
Don't want that derby. Fan. Don't enjoy it.
Bro, man, get out of here, man. They don't want to play football. They don't want to play football.
It's the worst. It's the worst out of all the derbies to watch. I hate that one. Like, because I'm a neutral. I don't support anyone in that game, right? I'm just watching, and I'm like, this is always a bad football match. So,
they don't understand how you feel.
They cook Van Dijk, so they ruined Van Dijk's career. So in a sense, I get that why Grizz wants it.
Yeah, that Pickford is man, don't talk about.
Thanks for Wayne Rooney though in 2004. We appreciate you for giving us Wayne Rooney, the greatest Man United player ever. So I appreciate Everton for that. But
like people are saying, like, where's this one? Question for Grizz. He says, what about Duncan Ferguson for Everton? I wouldn't be surprised if he's the only man ready to take it on. I reckon straight up they're gonna go through all these other potentials, Bielsa's, Sean Dyche, whatever, all these, they're going to look, nobody in their right mind right now, sane mind, is going to go to Everton. Everton have got deeper issues than coaches, man, right from the very top. I think Duncan Ferguson, give it Duncan Ferguson.
That's relegation. That straight away is just...
Maybe they need it right now. Maybe they...
a little bit.
But maybe they need to just go away and sort their heads out and from the structure from the top to bottom and then come back. You know what I mean? Because right now they're ugly. They're not ugly, they're ugly.
But it's peak. You know, relegation it's not easy. If they get relegated, I'm telling you now, there's no guarantee you're coming up, especially with
we've spent way too long on Everton, but unfortunately we've got another story to cover from Everton. Like everybody's jumping ship straight up. Anthony Gordon now, people. Now, I think Anthony Gordon is a cheating, dirty, diving little rat. But guess what? I think he's got something, you know. As a player, I think he's got something. I can't stand him. Like he's diving already at the age of what? I don't know. Is he 19 or something, or 20 or something, or maybe younger? Something like that. Like he's their new Rooney. You know when Rooney arrived upon the scene? This guy's got something, but he's got a stinky attitude. And if Cody slapped him today, big up Connor Cody every time, man. Because this guy's got one of those faces that you want to slap from both sides. Not one side. Yeah. You want to level it up. And Newcastle whole transfer. This is what I'm saying. Eddie Howe, I don't know what you're doing. I was rating you, bro. And now they want apparently 40 million could tempt him to be sold. Like, what are you saying, people?
First of all, his haircut stinks. I don't like his haircut. That Princess Diana cut, that's what it looks like. This guy's haircut is terrible. But in terms of the player.
Princess Diana cut. Oh, shit, Michael. Michael chose violence. Gone.
But in terms of like the player, he's a decent player. I think I was higher on him in the summer than I am now. Like I've watched a couple of Everton games. I guess I get why Newcastle, because like Eddie Howe seems to have like a magic wand and like can fix his player. Like this guy fixed Almiron, so, and I think Anthony Gordon probably had like more raw talent than like an Almiron, so like maybe he could like fix something. Anthony Gordon can play across like the wing position, so Almiron, you never know, he get injured. Who's playing on the right, like Jacob Murphy and them guys? So I think it's a decent signing. But the fact that Chelsea were willing to spend like 60 plus mil on him in the summer is a little crazy. I think 40 mil is a better price. I think at max he's a 40 mil player for right now. Anything else would be like overspending.
Okay, so he's 21, all right? The Magpies obviously looking to replace Chris Wood, who's gone to Nottingham Forest, which is a wild move in the first place. I don't know what to make of this one, man. Like Frank Lampard sacked, they got no manager. Some people are saying they're for sale. Chelsea, do you remember Chelsea asked about this guy as well? So if they got no money and they were looking to rebuild or something, they need to sell one of their players. He's probably one of the players that can be sold, for like, I don't know, let's say 50 million. Newcastle won't have an issue with that. That's wild money for someone that's so untested, Bilal, or you think he's got something?
I don't know. The market is just so broken. Like this guy should be going for like 15 million, 20 million in a normal world, right? And even that's a lot of money. 40 million, they're saying 60 million in the summer. But I think the reason a manager like Eddie Howe would want him, and the reason why Chelsea wanted him, is because they look at him and like the way he just runs non-stop, up and down, determination.
He's quick,
as you guys say, he's quick. And look at the way you guys are hating on him, just looking at him, right? Imagine you have that in your team. All of a sudden, you're liking him because he's annoying and getting the other team, angry and stuff like that. So I can see him on the right side of a front three for like Newcastle and just running, doing the way they play, counters, all sorts of stuff happening there. And that's, I think, the idea of it from the likes of Eddie Howe. I've seen Newcastle fans, I think they're a bit maybe split. As I said, Newcastle, Everton fans, I always see them just going back and forth with their little rivalry going on there. So I don't know if the Newcastle fans would want him, but I'm sure if they did sign him, they support him and then give him all of that, love and all of that. But yeah, he's as Shane says here, he's fast, he's energetic. But right now, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't take much to go for a lot of money. You play a couple good games, you look a little bit good, you got a nice little comp, all of a sudden 50 million. And that seems to be the world we live in right now. I don't know what's going on. But as we said, Moshiri's put the club up for sale. They're clearly maybe short of cash.
Well, apparently they've just denied that now. Apparently, just while we went live, apparently they've denied that they're for sale. So it's a bit of a mix-up situation, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's scrambled thinking from the very top.
100%. And I don't know what's happening with their new stadium that was meant to be done up and I think everything just has to be on hold, I'd imagine, right? Like, everything just seems to be in the air. So it says here Newcastle have made a bid of 35 million, rising to 50. Like, that's a lot of money, man, for Anthony Gordon. But Newcastle have money. So I don't know, when it comes to teams like Newcastle, you know, I have the old perception of Newcastle. Like, it's a lot of money. I just remembered now, man, they're the richest club in the world. So they can afford to go and spend that sort of money.
Easy. Light work,
right,
man,
yeah.
for them. That's light work, man,
He
for
fits
them.
them though, you know. He's a top tier rattler, and that's what Newcastle's like mentality is right now. Like, they're rattling the way they play. So I guess he fits them in a sense.
Him, McTominay, I could see them going in there.
Yeah, that guy can go there ASAP, man. Tomorrow.
I'm watching Longstaff, and I'm like, listen, McTominay could do a job as well at Newcastle. Like, the way Eddie Howe's got them playing, it's not beautiful football. They're not passing the ball nicely.
Oh, you're doing that tomorrow, right? You're doing that yesterday, Michael, right? McTominay, if they come in for you from you're doing that yesterday.
Tomorrow, yesterday, 5 years ago, whenever they needed to do it's to please do. But United won't do it because they're a top 4 rival, so they won't sell, and we don't have a backup. So if United were smart, they sell McTominay and they ring up Everton and say, Onana, what's his name? Bring him over here.
Oh, is that where you're going, Onana?
That's what I would do. I mean, I don't rate Onana like that, but he's a quality.
I don't rate Onana like that, man. People are saying
his passing is very shaky. His passing is very shaky for me.
So Onana doesn't come training today, but Bilal informs me that the news that he was at a wedding or something, right?
Wedding on Tuesday,
supposedly.
Wedding on Tuesday,
planned absence. Planned absence on a day like today.
Let's give him some. Yo, man, Amir says just joined what I missed. Need a 30-second recap. Yo, people in the chat, give him the recap, man. We've gone through hella stories, man.
Everton are in the mud.
Just
Everton are in the mud.
Basically Everton in the mud, bro. People, over 400 of you in here, but the likes are not even half the ratio. Like, what are you saying to me? I don't know what you're saying to me. You make me look like a beg every stream. You make me look like a beg. Do I look like a beg to you guys? Come on, man. Smash up that like button. You already know the rules. As soon as you enter the stream, you hit the like and then you listen to the people. Then, you know what I mean? We're here. We're out here. We're going to talk about Jude Bellingham in a very second, but I guess actually we can talk about him now. Is there anything else? I wanted to get your opinions on, what was his name? Malo Gusto.
Yeah. Big Grizz, don't do this to me.
No, because I know you're a big fan of this brother. So what's going on now? Like, what's the story
at work?
you?
I fell to my knees at work. I saw him wanting to go Chelsea. I said Owarida, Sefini in like other languages. I said it's over. This guy, I've been wanting him since like the summer. I'm like, this guy is the dream right back. Him and Dallo for the future. 10 years. I'm seeing the vision. I want him so bad. And Todd Bowley, I know he's in America right now, so this guy must be reading my tweets in my walls. He's stealing all my transfer targets. I don't understand this.
I think Todd Bowley's stealing everyone's transfer target.
Yeah, this guy, I don't like this. I was feeling Todd Bowley, Mudryk hype, everything stealing Arsenal, and then he got involved in my business. And even Ten Hag is calling up Malo Gusto like, yo, wait till summer. We'll come get you in the summer once we get that cash, but right now we can't afford you. Lyon, Olympic Lyon, one of my favorite French clubs. Your academy is amazing. Hold on, have a strong will. Say no to Todd Bowley's shenanigans. Be a real club, man. Resist. I know Malo Gusto wants to go. Malo Gusto, listen to this. You're not gonna listen to this, but listen. Chelsea have Reece James.
No. Don't underestimate the power of football. You already know.
Football Khanage, yo, it's gonna go global. Reece James is at Chelsea. He is regarded as one of the best right backs on the planet. He's from Cobham. He is the franchise player at Chelsea. So the chances of you starting, I know Todd Bowley's promising you game time and everything, and Reece James is very injury prone. But once Reece James is healthy, I promise you, no matter how good Malo Gusto is, Reece James will always start over him because he is pretty much Mr. Chelsea right now in that sense. Him and Mason Mount are one of like the last few of Cobham, while Todd Bowley's buying young prodigies from like all over the world. So you will not be starting over him. Come Man United, bro. Diogo Dalot is a good player, but you can have some competition there. You can link up with Raphael Varane, the French link up over there, man. Listen from one of the French captains. Martial's still there, but you probably don't want to talk to him, but it's fine. You could speak a little French with him. Who else speaks French? I don't know who else speaks French. But come Man United, bro. We have a plan for you. I have a vision. We have a vision. Erik ten Hag's even calling you on his personal cell phone. He's got you on speed dial. We want you. Come summer, once that whatever money comes in, we'll come by you. Don't go Chelsea. There's like so many young players there. There's too many young players over there. Way too many. Like way too many. At some point, they're gonna get fed up. It's an 8-year contract. 8-year contract, 150. Nah, this is ridiculous. Come Man United, please, because I fell to my knees at work seeing this. I need this guy.
So he's your number one. He's your number one target in terms of a right back. Because look, you got Dalot, who's been one of your best players of the season so far. You got Wan-Bissaka, who looks like a different type of player, different player altogether. How much are you willing to spend on him? So what's the fees that Chelsea are looking to pay for him?
Chelsea are willing to go up to like 40 mil, I think. I'm spending 40 mil. Sell up, yo, Crystal Palace, Patrick Vieira. You're building a squad over there. Come bring back Wan-Bissaka to London over there. Please take him back.
So you rate him like that, yeah?
I think, honestly, he'll be the best right back in the world one day. I think he's that cool.
Oof. Wow. The only time I really paid attention to him was last season. Those two games against West Ham in the Europa League, and I really watched him. And I was like, I couldn't even work out where he was playing. He was so advanced up the pitch.
Really?
He was Lyon's like one of their main attacking threats. So he did impress me that day. I remember people saying that he's a winger, like he's not actually a right back, but I think he was doing a job there. And obviously now he's been converted, it looks like, I believe, into a right back. He looked really good in those two games. I really paid attention to Lyon and how they were playing. So yeah, from what I can tell, he is a good player. And we've seen the likes of Bruno Guimaraes, Paqueta, Maxence Coqueret, all of these sort of players at Lyon that were like, yeah, these guys are Ryan Cherki, all of these sort of players. How many players have come out of that system in Lyon? It's one of the biggest clubs in France, as we know. And yeah, it looks like Gusto, though, not going to Man United, going to Chelsea. And I don't know when Reece James comes back. I've seen some suggestions of like Reece James maybe in the middle of the park. I don't know, like as a centre mid now if Gusto comes in, because we could maybe talk about Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez and then maybe not signing for Chelsea. But I don't know. It's a good signing, 100%. They need a right back. But when you invest that sort of, again, it comes back to this money argument. I don't know how much is too much anymore. Because when you spend that sort of money on an age profile...
But it's not. But it's not. But it's the Man City way of thinking and doing things. Yeah. When Man City buy 40, 50 million pound players just to be squad members, and they line up their substitute. You look at the substitute bench for Man City, it's all 50 million pound players. Yeah. Chelsea are able to do that now. Chelsea got 37 or 36 man squad now, and I'd say at least half of them are above 30 million. Would you say, guys?
Yeah, you know what? It's fair enough. More than half. But my thing is, right, and this is before Bowley got there, so I can't even say this is Bowley's fault. This is Chelsea's fault as a whole. They had Lamptey and Livramento just there, top right backs, just waited to get a chance and put them.
Lamptey's fallen off though. I don't know, injury or
even got another guy, bro.
Lamptey, I'm telling you, I've watched Lamptey. I've watched Lamptey the last few games. He's played. He's been in and out the team, right? The one game he played against Arsenal against Martinelli, I'm telling you, Martinelli was struggling. The other day was against Leicester. Plays a bit. He's a class player, and I'm thinking like Chelsea had all of these sort of players. You can't get them. Well, I think they have a buyback actually. I'm not too sure. But then going for Gusto now, listen, if they can get him in, it's a good signing. What can I say? It's going to be a good signing for them. And I think Man United, in this instance, the lack of money that we know about is really coming back to bite them. But Chelsea are trying to sign everyone now because, as we said, UEFA, they're changing the rules. So this little loophole that Todd Bowley's found with 8-year contracts and all of this sort of stuff will be put to a stop probably by the summertime. So I think they're trying to go all out now, sign all the players. If they get sanctioned later down the line, cool. If they don't, then
we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if they get transfer banned, why do they care? They have all these players. They'll be fine. They don't even need another transfer window if you have all these players. So
it's mad.
But also, surely, like, if you sign all these players for depth, if you don't, like, Man City have kept these players happy because they win. So trophies feed like your greediness. But if you're not winning, these players are gonna start looking at like, yo, I'm not starting, but I'm also not winning. So like, what's the catch over here?
You need to play, right?
Sorry, 1892 Reds TV is in the building. Said, big up Grizz on the panel. Hope you're well. It's my birthday today. Just turned 30. Feel old, brother.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
First and foremost, happy birthday. Sorry, yeah. But you ain't old, man. You're only as old as you feel, man. Just feel young. You know what I mean? Look at me. That's what I'm saying. Look at me. You know what I mean? I feel young. Probably triple your age. But you know what I mean? It is what it is. Happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday. Big up yourself. And then he says, smash the likes, people. So come on, man. You already know. Yeah, Kall's been a magnificent performer for Brighton. Like nothing. They've just sent him away on Brighton. He's injured now for a few weeks. But you're right. You mentioned Chelsea now still in the market for a midfielder, apparently. Still being linked for Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo, who's also a huge target for Liverpool. I already told you guys that follow the Liverpool shows on the channel that Moises Caicedo is massive target for Liverpool. But Brighton don't want to sell. And today they come out with a mad price for him. They said, if you want him, Forget 50, forget 60, forget 75, like they told us. Now they want 100 million for him. So I don't even know, man, if even Chelsea can do that kind of stuff. I don't know if they can. We know they can. But 100 million for Moises Caicedo, Bilal, what are you saying?
Listen, Brighton, Tony Bloom, keep asking for the 100 million because either one or two things will happen. One, Chelsea might just come in and spend that money. But I think if they spend like 100 million in one go, I'm telling you now, it's the sound of the police. UEFA are coming because you can't be doing these things. They already spent like 200 million pounds. You can't be going even more crazy and spending 100 million on a Caicedo. So what, in my opinion, I think Brighton are doing, it's just, listen, they don't want to sell Caicedo. They've got McAllister there. They've got Caicedo. They could push for a Europa League spot. Why do they need to sell him now? In the summer, everyone's going to still be interested in Caicedo. He's only 21 years old. Everyone's going to still be interested in McAllister. They don't have to sell. It's only a few days as well. If they sell Caicedo today, is there going to be a replacement in the next few days? I know the scouting system's great.
They got someone from Argentina planned already, bro. Trust me.
Yeah, they got something cooking always. Like, yeah, the scouting system's unbelievable. But Caicedo's a player that we knew about. This is one of those ones, like, it wasn't unknown before he went to Brighton. He was linked to Man United. All the guys in South America were saying he's a next big talent. He's going to be the one that's coming out of Ecuador and looking the part and all of this. So, yeah, like, I think Caicedo, yeah, he will be a very, very, very good signing for whatever team he joins. But 100 million pounds is ridiculous. No one's going to pay 100 million pounds at this moment. Well, I say that. You never know. Todd Bowley, as I said.
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. What can you say? What can we say? That's mad. That is, I thought 75 is mad. But if I had the money and I was Liverpool, I would do it.
For 100 mil?
No, 75.
Oh, 75. Okay.
75 is different, but you know what?
Because
look at this.
That's how much I rate him. I think he's a game changer.
I'm not trying to say amortization, right? But I'm telling you now, it's like people just discovered this term in football. If you do every transfer by amortization, you're going to say every transfer is not a risk now, right? It's still a lot of money, and it's not.
You're committed. Do it, you're indebted to pay that.
It doesn't even mean that's how they're paying it half the time. It's just the way they've.
It's pretty much as simple with them, bro. Like, if they don't get top 4 and they don't sell players, they're cooked. But if they somehow get UCL money and they sell players, they'll probably start trending in good waters again. But they need to sell players. And if I'm other clubs, I'm not buying any Chelsea player. I'm like, yo, you put him in the ground, put him in the mud. But now with Caicedo, like, hey man, all I'm saying is in the summer, bro, Caicedo, if you're still there, Antonio Valencia, we have a plan cooking. Ecuadorian link up. No. Trust me. He's a big fan of Man United.
I'm telling you now, forget that. Forget Man United.
In the summer, we never know.
Ignore Michael.
Opinions change. Minds change. I won't call Erik ten Hag. Next to Casemiro.
Moises Caicedo. This is a special reach out from Grizz Khan. Please, just like Michael told, what's his name? Gusto.
Yeah.
Just like Michael made a personal plea to hold tight. I'm telling Moises Caicedo, or Caicedo apparently is how you say it. It's Moises Caicedo apparently. Please stay at Brighton until the summer, when we should, inshallah, have a few dollars, rupees, euros, sterling, and then we will come for you, my brother.
Yeah,
all I'm gonna say is the soon to be Premier League champions. We're keeping an eye on Caicedo.
No. I think Rice is looking good for you lot. I think Chelsea will end up with Enzo. And I think
that's another measure I gotta do. Enzo Fernandez, I got a plan for you, bro. I've been scouting you since January of 2021. But no, January 2022. Bro, don't listen to Top Bully. I know Top Bully. Yo, this guy must be a dream salesman. Like, he'd be moving like Jim Halpert and Michael Scott from The Office. This guy be moving mad. Bro, hold tight. Casemiro next to you. You want to be next to like Jorginho, Mateo Kovacic? Nah. Casemiro. Just think of the dream. The Argentinian. Lisandro Martinez behind you. Your guy. The butcher. Oh, hold tight.
No, man. We ain't doing this shit, man. Get out of here, man. I know this is Premier League Khanage, but look, my Liverpool people in the chat are gonna be going mad, saying, "What's this hype about Man United, man? Get out of here, man." KD channel member, of course, big up KD. He says, "Mad respect for Bloom for holding fast when they are doing so well and probably will make Europe good for them. He's doing a bad boy job. Underrated job that they've done at Brighton. Underrated. We know that Newcastle have nicked half their staff. We know Chelsea have nicked half their staff, but they still keep rocking up and putting in performances. They're probably going to rock up on the Amex on Saturday and deal with Liverpool as well. We've got them next in the cup. So I ain't looking about that. I ain't looking at the trophy, the FA Cup anymore, because we got Brighton, the Brazil right now, the Premier League. Yeah, it's looking peak for us still. But Moises Caicedo, apparently, I said it right the first way. Hold tight, my brother. Just relax. You don't need Chelsea, man. What are you going to do there? You're just going to be one of many mercenaries that joining up there. They ain't got no plan. They got no structure. It's just a wishy-washy amount of players they're buying. 37 players you're going to be joining. Are you mad, Moises?
It's a university.
37 players. You're going to be walking into uni and shit. Big hall, fuck off, hall lecture. What's all these people, man? What? Who's my tutor? Who's my friend? You listen. Come to the family that is LFC. You understand?
What about
family man is telling you?
What about Mason Mount? What are you saying? Would you pay?
Yeah, so Mason Mount, people. All right, let's get into some Liverpool chat. So obviously Liverpool need midfielders. We already know this. And Liverpool also need some homegrown. I don't know about your clubs. If you don't know about the homegrown rule, if there's an issue in your clubs, but it's an issue at Liverpool, especially with Oxlade leaving, especially with Milner probably leaving, and Henderson seeing less action but not leaving. So we need to fill up that homegrown quota. So we can't just keep going buying non-homegrown players. So we had Declan Rice being looked at. We're a massive fan of Declan Rice. It looks like Arsenal have taken the lead in the Declan Rice saga. It was supposed to be Chelsea and then us, but looks like Arsenal are front runners. And I don't know what you make of that one very quickly, Bilal, before I continue the Liverpool chat. What do you think about that one?
Humble pie for me if we sign it. I knew the moment I started saying I remember we talked about Declan. I was like, I don't really rate him, you know. And now everyone's like, nah, he's a good player. Look at his this and that. I'm like, yeah, I rated him when he started out because I remember people used to underrate Declan Rice a lot. I used to have debates with my friends like Harry Winks is better than Declan Rice. I said, brother, hold up. Watch Declan Rice. He's definitely better than Harry Winks, right? But you know what it is? Because of the level people are putting him at, I'm like, we can't put him at this level. He just plays for West Ham. No disrespect. He's not gone to that next level where we can really see him being tested at the highest level. But listen, from what I can see, Arteta, Declan Rice himself, they really like him, and he's a Chelsea boy. So if he does choose Arsenal, it's going to be him choosing to come to Arsenal, despite him maybe having the chance to go to the team that he supported as a kid, played for as a kid in the academy. And I think, yeah, it'll be a coup because he's someone who definitely is a strong runner. He can carry the ball. And even if he doesn't play in the party position to start with, he could definitely help Xhaka in that left centre mid position and then transition in a few years into being Arsenal's number 6. So, yeah, I think it'll be a good deal. And the likes of Ramsdale's, the Ben Whites, the Sakas, I'm pretty sure the Smith Rowe and Nketiahs, that's one of his boys that he grew up with as well. It's one of those ones, like London as well. I'm sure, like, even if Man United probably be interested, and I'm sure they'd want to get him as well. But I'm pretty sure even the London factor might even be a thing in it as well, seeing how Arsenal are doing. I can see it happening, to be honest. And I just knew this was going to happen.
I'm sorry to break it to you guys again, but you know, people hate hearing when Liverpool do this, yeah? And we're going to come on to Jude chat very, very, very soon. But you already know, Declan Rice's dad's a Liverpool fan. I'm just putting it out there in the atmosphere. Like,
are they not Chelsea? Are they all not Chelsea fans? Are you sure about this?
Yeah.
We need to check this.
No, we can check it. You can do your check. You can do your check. You can do your check in the background while I ask Michael. Talk to me about Declan Rice, because Man United needs someone like that as well. If he was to be McTominay replacement, I don't think you're getting rid of McTominay myself. I think every coach likes McTominay, even though the fans might not. But Declan Rice is definitely moving from West Ham. Declan Rice is definitely going to one of the big boys, whether that's Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, United. Possibly, can we see City coming in for him as well? I don't know. What are you guys thinking, Declan Rice?
Calvin Phillips, though.
What kind of...
Depends.
That guy's dead, bro.
They signed him, and Lavia, I feel like, I don't know why they sold that Lavia kid. Like,
he's coming back. He's going back to City when Southampton go down.
That's what I feel.
But now, Declan Rice, I think Arsenal is the best place for Declan Rice. I think that Xhaka role,
Arsenal?
that Xhaka role is actually perfect for Declan Rice. I know a lot said about Party's backup. Now, Declan Rice is coming for Granit Xhaka, and he's coming for that spot because the reason why I don't want Declan Rice at Man United is because he'd be playing next to Casemiro, and I want a quarterback. I want a tempo setter. Arsenal had their tempo setter more in Odegaard, so they could play like running beast behind him in Party and Declan Rice. So I think for me, Arsenal is the best spot for him. At Man United, would I take him? Yes, because he's a quality player. I know he's fluctuated from underrated to overrated and underrated again. Like people, I saw in the comments someone said he's a Harry Maguire center mids. That's my disrespectful to Declan Rice. He's a really good player. And he's one of the best at his position in the Premier League. And the fact that that's probably not his best position. That guy's a number 8. He's a screaming number 8. And I know Mikel Arteta, I've gassed him up a little bit. When he has the transfer target, he has a plan for them. And I think he has a plan for Declan Rice at the 8. But with Man United, bro, we have other players. I have other targets. I have my eyes set on international. We have the homegrown quota set already. I'm going international like I'm Pitbull, man. I have plans. Enzo Fernandez, hold tight at Benfica, man. We're coming for you too. Don't listen to Top Bully. Maximus Kakare at Lyon. If I ain't getting Malo Gusto, I'm leaving from Lyon with something. I promise you. I'm leaving from that club.
Fair enough.
Michael, have £5 in the bank, bro, right now. You can't be talking about these names.
Summer, bro, hold tight, bro. The new owners are
wait
coming.
Until it comes. Wait until it comes, because I saw now the Glazers have said, not April anymore. They're waiting until the summer now to try and sell
they said before the window starts. Before the window starts. It's
okay, let's see.
Right.
Let's see.
Pixelate Pigeon reminds us there's 460 of you in here and reminds us like we've just barely reached 200 likes. Smash up that like button right now, people. We're coming up to Liverpool chat and the midfield chat. It started from Declan Rice because we have been linked with him. Then it went on to Mason Mount, who 100% is linked with Liverpool, and we definitely have an interest in Mason Mount. He has not signed a new deal at Chelsea. Some Chelsea people that I speak to suggest that it's a money issue. But from the majority of the people that I trust say it's not a money wages issue. He doesn't feel appreciated apparently. I'm just repeating what people tell me. So don't try to tell me, oh man, how you know the insides of Chelsea dealings. I'm passing on relayed information to me. So you make of it what you want, and then let's see the situation, how it develops. And if I'm proved right or wrong or whatever. I still believe inside of my heart, I still believe he will extend at Chelsea. I believe he will extend at Chelsea. If he doesn't extend at Chelsea, I think Liverpool will be in for him. And I think he would be very happy to move to Liverpool. He's got a good connection with the Hendersons and the Trents. And obviously, we're going to come on to the Judes. I think he would love to be a part of Liverpool 2.0. But I think he will extend at Chelsea. I'd take him. I'm a fan of Mason Mount. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Mason Mount, he's just caught up in a mess at Chelsea. You know Chelsea, structurally. Attacking, it's a graveyard for attackers, and he's really, in essence, an attacking young player. I think he's got energy. I think he's got a great shot on him. He's technically good, and I think he will thrive in the right environment. I'll take him tomorrow. Guys, your thoughts on Mason Mount if you take him at your respective clubs?
Well, go on, Michael.
I tweeted a couple weeks ago. I said, ETH low-key got a plan for Mason Mount if everyone wants to come Man United's way. I think we saw 2 years ago, this guy was doing assists and scoring goals in Champions League. Like, there's a player in there, and I think that he just needs a manager to unlock him. Like, I know people hate the word unlock in a sense, but like a Jurgen Klopp, for example, bro, Mason Mount fits in that Liverpool midfield. He is the essence of a Liverpool midfield, though. The traditional Jurgen Klopp, the hard runners, good on the ball, energy, all that. Liverpool midfield clearly needs energy because it's been very like dry in a sense. So Mason Mount,
and he's young, man. He's what?
He's young,
23, something like that.
Yeah, 24, probably somewhere like around there. Yeah. So I think any team in the Big Six like will take him off Chelsea's hands, in my opinion. I don't know about Arsenal, but I know Liverpool would take him. I would take him like maybe like as a Bruno backup for right now, because Bruno's backup is Donny van de Beek, and as much as Mason Mount gets criticism, that guy is 100 times better than Donny van de Beek in my opinion. So, and he could play the 8, he could play the 10, he could even do a job on the wing sometimes. I know it's not his best position, but he's a versatile player, so I would definitely take Mason Mount.
Bills?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think out of all the clubs, Mason Mount suits Liverpool the most out of all the big teams. I say like a Liverpool or Newcastle. So in terms of style of play, those are the two teams that he would really, really suit. But maybe more so Liverpool because they rely less on the physical side compared to Newcastle right now. So until Newcastle, they'll develop and then they'll start buying more technical players as well. But I think Mount in the left centre mid role at Liverpool would be really, really good. And if he has, I've said it before, if he has the chance to go to Liverpool, play under Klopp, he has to take it because I'm looking at him for Chelsea right now. He always gets stick. He looks down. And also, every pass seems to be under hit, over hit. He just has no confidence right now. And it's not about ability. In my opinion, it's confidence, not really having a position, not really knowing what's going to happen. I think under a manager like Klopp, under a set system where he knows exactly what he has to do, I think he'll be really good. And yeah, if you can get him for a cut price, potentially, maybe a 40 million, I'd say, right? I don't know how much they'd ask for him right now with his contract situation. Let's say he's 40 million. It's a good deal. And I think a club like Liverpool, especially because of how much I think he actually suits Liverpool, should go and take him. But then you can go and spend bigger money on the other midfielder and potentially the number 6 as well. So, definitely it will be a good signing for Liverpool.
Yo, what's good says, hope all is well. Hope everything is good for you as well, bro. Grizz, any truth in Gravenberch, and why don't we look at Manu Kone now? As far as I know, there's no truth in Gravenberch. As far as I know, that doesn't mean there isn't any interest. I just haven't heard of it myself. I've seen the rumors and all that. I don't know. As far as I know, I haven't heard it myself from the people that I speak to. But Gravenberch, very young, very athletic, very, very mobile. Not gone great for him at Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich lost today at home to Cologne. Disastrous result. Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. Kimmich with the stunner in the last second. Pretty much a defeat, man. You know what I mean? At home.
Rashford, get your celebration back, by the way.
Nah, bro, we just moved the needle, bro. We moved the needle, bro. We're global, bro. Nah, these guys are still, bro. We're global. They're in all Marcus Rashford, bro. This guy be going on the barbershop with LeBron James. Trust me, bro. We're global.
They're watching Arsenal United and cooking up celebrations.
But Gravenberch, I don't know of any interest myself. And why don't we look at Manu Kone? Now, that is definitely someone for the summer. Keep an eye on Manu Kone. We're going to look for 2 free midfielders before people start saying, how many are you looking to buy? We need 2 free. So when you're looking for 2 free, you need to look at 7, 8. That's how it works, people. Do the maths.
Plan A, B,
of course,
C, D.
man. We're going to have, and Manu Kone is definitely a name that I've heard that we're looking at very, very closely, along with Kefren Turam as well. So these kind of players we're looking at. Huh?
These are all good players.
The good players.
What about Gravenberch to Man United? Ten Hag, Dutch.
He missed his trick. We would have gone for him in the summer, but he chose Bayern. His agents took him over there. If he had waited till Ten Hag got hired, he would have came. I'm sure Ten Hag would have brought him over.
The Bayern to Ajax connection as well, though, I could see moving from Holland to Germany. It's not that big of a deal. So maybe that's why it played into him.
Check this out, people. We got Chelsea's biggest defensive critic. Like the moment we speak about Chelsea, hey, Nomadic comes in with some mad defensive, insecure statements. Homegrown, English tax, 24, 40 million. Honey, listen, he ain't signing a new deal. If he don't sign, he wants to leave. That's going to be 2 years. Are you really going to go into the last season with him, like in terms of 1 year left? You're going to take that risk when you have to sell players, when you have to move on players. Does Potter look like, or Todd Bowley look like they're looking to keep unhappy players when they're buying players every single week? There's got to be a lot of toing and froing. So I'm saying 40 million, around 40 million, 50 million maybe.
That's too much. 40, 45.
I'm just saying not more than that. Not more than that.
And especially with his situation right now, and if he's Chelsea not giving him that new deal, which he wants, they're saying he wants 300k. I agree with you, Grizz. I think the reason everything's not going to plan with Chelsea and him in terms of contract is because of how he's feeling with the club right now.
Yeah.
So I think 40 million is a great deal. Otherwise, you might even lose him for free. You never know.
Amir says, what if FSG doesn't sell LFC? Do we still get Jude? I believe, regardless of FSG, and we'll get into the Jude chat now, I guess. So where's that thing I had? I was going to bring it up. Leave it to me, Bilal. This one's for me.
They said Klopp is calling every day.
Don't worry about all that business, man. That's like, okay, so what do we know? What do we hear today? Well, you already know that Grizz Khan has been saying Jude is a wrap for Liverpool for months. So if you're subscribed to this channel, you'll already know my opinions on the situation. I think we will get Jude Bellingham, and I've been saying it. Bilal's my witness for coming up to 6 months, if not more. So let's see what happens with this now. Today, Sky in Germany's Florian Plettenberg on Borussia Dortmund, Jude Bellingham. There are 3 targets: Madrid, Man City, and Liverpool. Liverpool are one of the favourites, and Jurgen Klopp is pushing for him and says it's #1 target. We already knew that kind of thing, to be honest with you, right? So he goes on to say, we all think Bellingham will leave this summer and that there is no chance Dortmund can keep him at this stage. And I think that was always the case. Obviously, we know he has a contract with a release clause, so the price tag is very high. Dortmund won about 100 million euro to 150 million, 100 to 150 million euro, which is what, between 80 and 130, something like that?
Yeah, maybe like 88 million pounds to like 105 or something. Oh, no, 105, 120, 30, who knows?
120 million euro. Let us know the exchange rate, people. But yeah, Klopp hasn't spoken to Bellingham personally yet. Okay. But the conversations have been held with people like Julian Ward. Now they just have to work out who is paying the money. Klopp has previously talked up Bellingham in public. We already know that. Exceptional. Listen, Cave Solikol, how do you say his name? Solikol,
yeah, I think.
He talks about sort of from a footballing point of view. I think Liverpool is the perfect move for him in the summer. People have asked whether Liverpool could compete if they got into a bidding war. No, of course we can't get into a bidding war with all these clubs. I've said this time and time again. Liverpool cannot get into a bidding war with Man City or Real Madrid. But Real Madrid apparently are not willing to pay that kind of money for Jude Bellingham. And Man City haven't entered the market. And I personally am of the opinion Jude Bellingham has decided pretty much along with his family that he wants to play for Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp. So let's see, hold tight. Let's see what happens. The way Florian Plettenberg was speaking today, by the way, Plettenberg is a very close friend of Jurgen Klopp's agent. So Jurgen Klopp's agent and Plettenberg are like that. So when Plettenberg speaks on stuff about Liverpool, like he spoke about Sadio Mane's scenario before everyone else, you already know that he has connects at Liverpool Football Club. You already know Jurgen Klopp's agent and them are best mates. So let's see. Amir's revealed the exchange rate. 150 million euro is 130 million pound, which is a lot.
I was close. I think I said that. Right, quick maths. But you know what, with the Bellingham thing, right? Yeah, I don't see him as a Man City player. I don't see him, just judging his personality and the way he feels, the way he presents himself, even the way his family presenting. I don't see him playing for a team like Man City, to be honest. I could see him, yes, maybe a Real Madrid if it does come up, but really and truly, I think Liverpool would definitely be his #1 choice. From what I can see, the way he is, and the relationship, of course, between Dortmund, Liverpool, Klopp, I think all of it kind of makes sense.
100%. Jude Bellingham has come out in many sort of interviews and little clips of him saying, for him, it's not about the money and all of that hype. For him, it's all about sort of the glory and how he wants to be remembered, a legacy with fans. And people were saying Declan Rice his dad's not a Liverpool fan or whatever. Maybe I got that one wrong. But people are saying he was definitely at Istanbul. So maybe, what was he doing at Istanbul? He wasn't supporting
Good game,
AC Milan.
Champions League.
It might have been, but apparently he was cheering like mad. That's where the stories emanate from. I'm not sure about that one. What I'm 100% sure is Jude Bellingham's dad is a massive Liverpool fan. Massive. I believe his dad has been in contact with Klopp, and I believe they already know what's the deal, what's the situation. It's just the small matter of FSG, if they're still in charge by the summer, which I don't believe they will be, but if they are, paying the fee that will be agreed, and I don't think it will be a stumbling block because we've saved up all our life savings for this deal. We have saved up all our life. So,
it's like GoFundMe and everything. Sorry.
Listen, we turn off the lights 1 hour every day before we should just to save up on every possible way. We do. We've chosen a different brand of water in the canteen, just a cheaper brand of water. We're saving every part of the club saving is going on Jude Bellingham. So you're trying to tell me we ain't going to turn around and back Jurgen Klopp when he's openly said Jude is my number one target. He's talked about Jude. Not he hasn't said that, but he's talking about him like the best young player around, everything. But yeah, so Jude Bellingham, in my humble opinion, things change in football. That doesn't mean I'm like look at Danjuma today. What did Danjuma say? Danjuma said, I'm going to do everything I can to help Everton stay up.
I'm gone. But you know what it is, right? With Liverpool, if we know FSG are definitely selling, right? So if you can sign a player like Bellingham for Liverpool, like as a farewell gift, and while you're selling the club, you could even just add that to the price. It's only it's 100 million, let's say. It's not that much money in comparison to selling Liverpool Football Club, right? So I look at this right now, and to be honest, if I was a Liverpool fan, I would be confident, and I wouldn't even say that. You know, some people say, "Oh, Champions League football, all of this." Listen, when you're a big club, you have the pool, and
he knows, man. He knows.
Well,
listen,
it's not
realistically, guys, you all know we've gone through some madness this season with the injury. We've got no strikers, man, all season. We're relying on Nunes as a new boy. You know what I mean? So realistically, we know we're going to be back in the Champions League places next season. It's one season, relax. If we don't reach it, and it's still 50-50 whether we reach it or not. I'm not putting it lower than 50-50 or higher than 50-50. To me, it's 50-50. So let's see what happens.
If Man United we got Paul Pogba when we were in Europa League because he's obviously like a homegrown player. He loves Man United. Jude, from what I understand, like loves Liverpool. I guess that was a big fan. Liverpool, according to reports, is selling this Steven Gerrard kind of like mantle figure for him in terms of like he'd become a new Steven Gerrard. When you hear stuff like that, you fall in love. And whether it's
too much
for me, for Champions League football, is players that are like Frankie De Jong was looking at Man United, bro. Like Champions League football, they don't got it there. That's a player that doesn't like love Man United like that. But Jude will probably love Liverpool. Same way like Pogba loved Man United, has that sort of attachment to his heart, and that's why the only threat I think is Real Madrid. I don't think Man City will go in for him. I think Man City I think Real Madrid maybe because they have like aura and everything, but I think Liverpool.
I know. I think the opposite. I think our biggest threats are Man City, and the reason for that is I believe he wants to come back to the Premier League right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I believe Man City are our biggest threat. I'm sorry. Let's be real, or let's be real. A Real Madrid podcast. Shout out you boys. We're gonna move in silence for now. Jude is a blanco.
Perez ain't opening up his pockets. Perez ain't opening up his pockets for more than 120.
I'm telling you, people.
They need strikers.
You people, Los Blancos. It ain't easy for Jude. It's about us or City. I'm telling you now. It ain't easy. I'm sorry. Where's the legend that is Uncle Albert is in the building? Uncle Albert is in the building. People, rise. Show some respect. Smash a like for Uncle Albert. He is in the chat. If you know, you know. If you don't know, calling Khan on Saturdays ain't the same until Uncle Albert comes in and tells us about ourselves. Anyway, he said, Grizz, we don't want Mount. Tells Smirkmeister Bilal to take him to the Emirates. Klopp, get serious. Kone, Kefren, Caicedo, Kudos, and more now. We need Champions League. Kudos has gone to Dortmund, right? Or nothing confirmed?
He played Sunday for Ajax. He played Sunday
shit.
For Ajax.
Oh, so nothing done with that because Kudos is still out for transfer, yeah? Okay.
I haven't heard any links with him going anywhere, to be honest. So I don't
Ajax are in disarray right now. They're moving. It's looking peak over there in Amsterdam. So
the manager
you might be able to get a deal done because the locker room is not happy right now.
People, smash up the like buttons. We're already up to 500 people in now. As Free Mind says, nothing in Madrid moves in silence. Get out of here. Madrid moving in silence, you know. Get out. The Spanish media reports you'll get every good player. That's what they do, man. But yeah, I'm afraid they're not getting their pick with this one. They might have got Tuchemani from us, but that's because Tuchemani wanted Madrid. We were in for him. We had a deal with him. Everything was good. He had been to the AXA, but he didn't fully commit because he knew if Mbappe doesn't go, because you've got to remember these French players talk to each other. He must have known Mbappe. Mbappe must have said, yo, hold tight. I don't know if I'm going to Madrid, you know. So Madrid might come in for you. And that's what happened. As soon as Mbappe broke down, Madrid said, yo, we can't be smashed out of the ballpark twice. Who's the next most sought after player? And it was Tchouaméni last summer, I believe. Tchouaméni is one of the most sought after players. He chose Madrid. It happens. Madrid are a legendary, iconic club. You know what I mean? I ain't got no shame in losing out to Madrid, but we ain't losing out to Madrid for Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham will be a Liverpool player come next season, inshallah. Bilal, what are you saying?
Listen, if you're an English player, right? I'll be honest. Like, as much as we respect Barcelona and Real Madrid in this country, if you're a Jude Bellingham, you're not thinking to play for Real Madrid and Barcelona as your first choice. You're thinking to play for an English club. It's similar to Italian players. Most of them have Juve, Milan, Inter. You want to play for those clubs. If you're a South American player, like now, I'm seeing Enzo Fernandez. If Real Madrid come calling today for him and Chelsea are in there, he is 1 second.
Well, apparently today, I just read now, Barcelona are in for Enzo Fernandez as well.
Yeah, but with what money? They are trying to register Gavi right now. Barcelona, Tebas is on their necks. They're not coming for Enzo Fernandez. We have to be serious now. Real Madrid, they have the money. They're sitting, I'd imagine, on quite a bit of money. I know they've done up the stadium, etc. But they need an attacker. I don't know who they're going to sign, because I'm pretty sure the right wing position, the striker position.
Anthony Dos Santos, he's available for sale in my books.
Messi FC with, who's that in the picture?
That's Van Dijk.
Virgil. That's Virgil. It's Virgil, right? Messi FC with the Virgil picture in his Dutch kit. No sign of Liverpool anywhere in his name or his picture. Okay, Virgil, fair enough. He says, Grizz, any takeover news? So I'm assuming he's asking about Liverpool, because otherwise I don't know who's your team, bro. Who are you asking about? Everton, Man United? I don't know who takeover you're asking about. Grizz, any takeover news, sporting director news? Liverpool-wise, I've gone radio silent, not because I don't have an opinion or I've changed my opinion, but the level of toxicity among the Liverpool fan base, amongst people clamoring for this new owner from this part of the world, from this people, from this continent. We don't want this, we want this, from both sides or from many sides. I'm having a rest from it. I'm having a timeout from it. I expect Liverpool and their owners to make some form of announcements before the end of the season. Nobody can give you a time scale on that. But I personally don't expect FSG to be the full custodians of Liverpool Football Club come the summer. That's just my opinion.
Do you think there's a domino between Man United and Liverpool?
What do you mean, like
waiting to see which price gets, like waiting for one to get sold to like determine the price? Because obviously we're the two biggest clubs in the country, so like we're two biggest clubs.
I can imagine that. Yeah, that would be a scenario in terms of valuations, because so far the most recent club that's gone for sale has been Chelsea, but we know that's been a complicated sale. We know the Chelsea scenario was complicated in terms of the debt, Roman Abramovich, sanctions. We know that's different. With Liverpool, Man United, it's different as well. We know Man United, I think, last time I checked, we're about 500 million in debt.
Yeah.
Something like that. Whereas Liverpool have no debt. No debt. We already know Liverpool have actually overtaken Man United in terms of revenue as well. I can't remember who I was arguing with. Was it on a call-in show, or I was arguing with someone about, we've overtaken you in revenue and income.
Our revenue's gone down because of like obviously lack of success on the page.
I can't remember who I was
one somehow has gone up.
We're not talking about that, but that's good.
Yeah. Forget about that. Forget about Man City, man. Yeah, and the books.
How much Liverpool though? Would it go up? I don't know. I can't remember how much did Chelsea get sold for?
Because Chelsea got sold for 2.5 billion, and then there was a 1.5 billion.
Oh yeah, debt. So it's 4 billion basically in total.
It wasn't
that. It was like adding funds to it. Like they need to.
That's right. So the actual price that they went for is 2.5 billion. That's what people need to remember and know. So if Chelsea are 2.5 billion, Liverpool are circa asking for around the 4 billion mark.
We're 5. That's the starting point for Man United. It's 5 billion, of course.
There you go. So let's see what happens. As I said, sporting director news I don't think will be announced until there's clarity. You got to remember, Julian Ward is still here until the end of the season. Business as usual, they claim. He's still meeting potential players, agents, doing the business behind the scenes that he's supposed to be doing. So maybe they think it's a bit. I wouldn't see it disrespectful. I don't know what you guys think. If someone's already in a job, you don't want to be naming his successor. Maybe, I don't know.
Unless it's like
I just sack him right now. I don't know why he's still there. I'll just bring someone now. Prepare. Cav was saying it the other day, and I agree.
I know. I get that.
Bring
I get
someone
that.
in now and prepare for someone.
We don't operate like that. We're a proper club. Come on, that's you man's like.
And I think it's because we
don't Chelsea. We don't Chelsea.
You gotta let new owners pick their sporting director too. It's like
there you go. So the new owners may have idea on their own sporting director. So maybe that's an indication of why a sporting director ain't been selected yet, because new owners in conjunction with Jurgen Klopp. A name that I've heard, and I said it a long time ago. I put up a meme of the Mitchell brothers on the EastEnders. People go and check out my tweets, and that was because Paul Mitchell, I heard very early on, is a candidate. I haven't heard nothing since, so I'm not going to say I've heard his name since, but I knew Paul Mitchell was one of the people that we were interested in. So keep an eye on Paul Mitchell as a potential sporting director. So that's with that news. Albert comes in with another super chat. He says, LFC signs Jude, Job, Papa and Mama, Jude, dogs and cats. Listen, we got to do what we got to do, man. Come on, man. We got to do what we got to do. If that's what it takes to get Jude, we'll do that shit, man. But yeah, people, we're going to wrap it up right now. This has been, I told you it's going to be a mega pack show. We knew it's got so much to get through, but you survived. We survived. Bilal, Michael, thank you very much, guys, for helping me out. We'll be back next week for episode 6, I believe, after episode 5. God knows what we're going to have to talk about. Maybe Chelsea have signed another 4 players by then.
A week from today is the end of the window, right? 31st.
Oh, what time? So what day is that?
It's
the 24th already. Like, this month has gone so quick. I don't know if it's just me.
It's the 24th today, so.
Oh shit, we're gonna have to do a mega stream, boys. You back in it? We're gonna have to do a live stream while the transfer window is closing up. Yo, people, next week we will be your sports center. You don't need to be Sky Sports transfer window. We will be the center here. We will have our headpieces on. We will be tracking all the comings and goings. You already know where to be next week. Make sure you're locked into Premier League Transfer Khanage special. Big up Bilal, Michael, and myself, says Pixelate Pigeon. Cheers, chat as well. Yeah, man, chat's been bad. Smash a like on your way out. We'll be back next week. Tomorrow, I don't know if these boys are going to do a Eurostars. We'll be in touch. Let me chat to them because I'm going to be traveling. So, yeah, I don't know if I trust them behind me, but fuck it. I'm going to have to trust them. But we out of here. Premier League Khanage. Peace out. Take care.